Hello and welcome to this Lesson Lab module titled Put on Your Teacher Hat that was designed and produced by GoTeach11. Your journey starts here. In this course, you'll learn to communicate and dress professionally as well as have high positive expectations for your students. Today we'll have a few selected readings from The First Days of School by Harry and Rosemary Wong and Teach Like a Champion 2.0 by Doug Lemov, so you'll want to have those by your side as we progress through the learning. This rubric details how you'll show your learning for this module. To earn credit for this course, you should dress in business casual, have a confident, audible tone, and maintain eye contact throughout the mini-lesson. This means not having your back face to the audience for the majority of the lesson. I'd like to take just a moment to begin with a simple hook to get us thinking about some of the characteristics of a good teacher. Think about your past educational experience and identify a teacher who made a positive impact on you. What was it that made the teacher stand out? Now, what if I told you that you could become just as impactful as a teacher you were thinking about? How does this happen? Unfortunately, it is not easy and certainly does not happen overnight. The First Days of School details the stages of teaching on pages 17 to 18. Read over those pages and check out how you can expect to grow into a rock star teacher. The reality of being a teacher is that things aren't always going to go the way that you want them to. The first year especially will feel like you're in survival mode at times. Just remember that teaching is a marathon, not a sprint, and your attention to planning and preparation are going to put you in the best possible position to have a successful teaching career and remain sane. Something that is difficult for us to help you with is developing the right sort of attitude that's going to help you through the day-to-day stresses of the profession. The First Days of School details the importance of staying positive and expecting the best from your students no matter the circumstance. Taking a deep breath and having the right attitude, believing yourself, will help you become the teacher you dream to be. Take some time to read about high positive expectations on pages 48 to 57. I think some of the big takeaways from that reading are that no one rises to low expectations and students are extremely sensitive to the way that we behave towards them. We need to make sure that the impact we have on students' lives is a positive one, and one of the ways we do that is by controlling the way that we communicate with our students, other teachers, and even parents too. There's a few aspects in professional communication for us to consider. The nonverbal cues that we give, of course, the way that we talk verbally, and our attention to detail in our writing. The next few slides, we'll take a closer look at each one of these. Here we have a few nonverbal cues for us to take into consideration, so we're sending the right sort of message to our students. Maintaining eye contact with different students throughout the lesson or throughout whole group discourse when you're speaking is a way to keep track of the class, and of course making eye contact as someone else is speaking shows that you're paying attention and value what he or she has to say. Your facial expressions say a lot about how you're feeling. So make sure the expression you're wearing helps reinforce positivity. Your posture can make a difference too. Being slouched over or leaning on something for a long period of time can give the impression that you're tired, and students can be relaxed in their learning too, which may lead them to take advantage of the situation. On the other hand, standing upright with squared shoulders gives off an air of confidence. Avoid appearing hostile or disinterested by crossing your eyes, arms, or turning your body away from students for an extended amount of time. We can even consider the way you dress as a nonverbal cue. The clothes, shoes, and even your hair you wear can affect the vibe you're giving off. Your school district will definitely provide you with an employee handbook that describes the district's dress code. So follow that, but in general, you want to look more grown up than your students. You want to dress for success, credibility, and authority. The First Days of School has some information about dressing for success that you may find helpful on pages 70 to 76. Putting on a teacher hat also means controlling what you say and how you say it. Just like a parent tells your child to watch your tone, you should watch your tone as a teacher too. The tone of your voice is one of your tools that lets students know you expect them to do something a certain way. Change the speed of your voice to slow down when you want to make something especially clear, or speed it up when you want to indicate excitement or movement. Be clear and succinct with what you say so students don't have to filter out extra information, which might distract them from your goals. Finally, pausing after asking a question is a powerful tool that allows students extra time to process and think. And halting your talking may cause students to bring their attention back to you as they wonder why you stopped. When you don your teacher hat, you'll need to uphold certain expectations. This means at times you'll need to be strict, which isn't natural with some people. It's something I had to learn to develop. Being strict doesn't mean that you can't still be warm with students and show that you care about them. Teach Like a Champion summarizes this concept really well on pages 438 to 439. Pause the video and take a moment to read about the relationship between being strict and being warm. Okay, so as a former English teacher, I have a strong feeling about this. You are an educated individual and you are going to be working in the teaching profession. Thus, you must show students what accurate writing looks like so they have a model for success and don't learn any incorrect grammar. The instructional materials you create, the emails you send, the posters on the walls that you create need to have proper grammar, correct spelling, and appropriate punctuation, including apostrophes. If you aren't sure the exact rules of spelling or punctuation, that's okay. Share that with your students and turn it into a teachable moment so you can all be on the same page about what proper writing looks like. All right, friends. Up to this point, we've delved deeply into how bringing special attention to verbal, nonverbal, and written communication can help send the right sort of message. Mastery over these soft skills helps you remain warm yet focused on taking the reins and leading students to success. Our final bit of learning will provide a few tips for how to navigate interpersonal relationships amongst coworkers, parents, and students. Having the right sort of communication habits with your students is one thing, but maintaining that professionalism with your fellow teachers is a whole nother challenge. Some of the best parts about teaching are not only helping students grow and reach their fullest potential, but working alongside your peers and supporting each other through both challenges and celebrations. Do your best to remain friendly and courteous. A small token of appreciation goes a long way. Watch yourself in the break rooms and avoid gossip. It's difficult to support a strong school climate if the staff can't work together as a team. It's surprising how much of an impact a simple please or thank you can have. What would your students think if you called them sir or ma'am sometimes? What about if you called them by a more official version of their first name, such as Miss Daisy or Mr. Flavio? No matter what, know your students' names and how they're pronounced. Also, remember to be cognizant of the tone of your voice as it's one of your greatest tools. When the teacher and parent work together to support a child, great things happen. Remember, parents could be your greatest allies, but they could also be a source of stress if something goes awry. When you connect with parents, remember you're on the same team. Listen to what their concerns are. Ask them what their goals are for their child. Keeping the focus on the future will help drive the conversation to where it needs to go. Keeping a communication log for when you connect with parents helps keep track of the actions you take, and they serve as a record for how you intervene with behavior and learning. Congratulations, you've made it through this course. So I hope by now you've come to the realization that there is no literal teacher hat. The teacher hat serves as a metaphor for understanding that when you serve as a teacher, you must act and present yourself a certain way. At the beginning of the course, we thought about an impactful teacher we once had. I challenge you to become your own version of that teacher. And it all starts with putting on your teacher hat. Let's look at the proficiency rubric one more time. To earn credit for this course, you should dress business casual and look like a teacher looks on a typical school day besides casual Fridays. This means don't wear jeans, unless you're an art teacher who will be painting, or maybe even a science teacher who will be conducting an outside lab. Speak audibly and confidently, even if you're nervous. You're going to be the one in charge, so you'll need to control the way you speak. Finally, be sure to face your students and make eye contact periodically so you're ready to handle any situation that arises as soon as it happens. For that extra challenge, dress in business professional attire. Wearing this sort of attire means that you can represent your school in any professional setting, from a principal's meeting to a monthly school board meeting. We have a few tips to help you communicate professionally in your 10-minute mini lesson. Come to class dressed in something you'd imagine a teacher would wear on a typical school day. You'll need to be comfortable, yet dressed conservatively as well. No jeans, no shorts, no flip-flops. Workout attire, sweats, and tennis shoes are a no-go unless your certification area is in physical education. If you have a medical reason to wear a certain type of clothing, please do that. Some school districts explicitly say that your clothes have to be pressed, which is kind of interesting. Avoid wearing clothes that have been sitting at the bottom of your closet or in a hamper for weeks. They also sometimes have language about hair on the top of your head and on your face, so it shouldn't look like you just woke up or got voted off of Survivor. Sometimes it's tough to sound confident and speak at the right volume, but you can always practice what you want to say by speaking into a recording device and then listening to yourself. It's a good way to gain that confidence. Finally, any text you display needs to be accurate, so edit everything you write. Take a deep breath and smile. No matter how you present yourself, we'll be here by your side to help you go teach. Thanks for watching this video that was designed and produced by Education Service Center at Region 11. Today's video referenced material from Teach Like a Champion 2.0 by Doug Lemov and The First Days of School by Harry and Rosemary Wong. Images for this presentation were downloaded from Pixabay, Unsplash, and 123RF.